Assalamu alaikum everybody. The first hadith we have here that people use to prove that musical instruments are halal can be found in Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 2, Book 15, number 103. Narrated Urwa on the authority of Aisha. On the days of Mina, that's the 11th, 12th, and 13th of Zulhijjah, Abu Bakr came to her while two young girls were beating the duff, and the Prophet was laying covered with his clothes. Abu Bakr scolded them, and the Prophet uncovered his face and said to Abu Bakr, "Leave them, for these days are the days of Eid and the days of Mina." Okay, and now again, two things need to be mentioned with this hadith. First off, the permissibility was given. The Prophet said that the permissibility was given because they were the days of Eid and the days of Mina. So it's on a specific occasion where he allowed it. It's not a thing that they often did or did all the time like people do with music today. And the second thing that people really should wonder when they're trying to use this to prove music to be halal is wonder, why did Abu Bakr even scold them in the first place? Again, by his scolding, we can see that musical instruments and things were something that was looked down on. It wasn't common for people to be beating the duff and everything. But during specific occasions, this was given permissibility. And we also notice that this is not a blatant permissibility for all types of instruments. This is a permissibility specifically for the duff. And the duff is an instrument somewhat like a drum, but it's different. It has no metal, and it's kind of like a tambourine, but without the little bells on the side. Okay, and the second hadith that I'm bringing up about the duff can be found in Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 5, Book 59, number 336, narrated Arabi bin Mawuya. The Prophet came to me after consuming his marriage with me and sat down on my bed as you, the sub-narrator, are sitting now. And small girls were beating the duff and singing in lamentation of my father, who had been killed on the day of the Battle of Badr. Then one of the girls said, "There is a prophet amongst us who knows what will happen tomorrow." The Prophet said to her, "Do not say this, but go on saying what you have spoken before." So we see the Prophet not stopping them from beating the duff and not stopping them from singing. So we can give permissibility, on certain occasions, once again, to the duff and singing. Not as a common thing to be done all the time, not as a common thing to be obsessed with or to replace the Quran at all, but on certain occasions, the duff and singing can be used. Now, another hadith that people sometimes bring up to try and prove that musical instruments are halal can be found in Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 6, Book 61, number 568. Narrated Abu Musa, that the Prophet said to him, "O Abu Musa, you have been given one of the musical wind instruments of the family of David." Now people look at this and they say, "Oh hey, look, it looks like the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is speaking positively about instruments." But again, as we did with the passages from the Quran, we need to look at the original language and look at what the scholars have said about the city. Okay, the word to think about here is mizmar. Al-Nawawi said, the words of the Prophet concerning Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, he has been given a beautiful voice, mizmar, like the beautiful voices of the family of Dawood. Al-Iraqi said, what is meant by mizmar here is a beautiful voice. The original meaning is the instrument that is blown into. The beauty and sweetness of his voice is likened to the sound of a flute. And he had an extremely beautiful voice in recitation. Ibn Hajar said, what is meant by mizmar is a beautiful voice. The basic meaning is the instrument and the word is used of the voice as a simile. And now when we look back here at the hadith, we can tell that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was not praising musical wind instruments, but he was praising using a beautiful voice in recitation. So now we can tell that musical instruments, except for the duff on certain occasions, are forbidden. And usually at this point people go, "Oh no, that's insane. We hear music all the time around us when we go to stores and everything. What are we supposed to do?" So now I'll get to those issues with my next videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, blessings and peace be upon everyone. Bye.